Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. James Brown, the notorious American performer, abandoned an enduring heritage that stretched out a long way past his music. The adoptive parent of soul Earthy's effect on the music business and culture at large was significant. At the hour of his passing in 2006, he had amassed an extensive fortune valued at $100 million. A critical piece of Earthy's abundance was credited to his end freedoms, a legitimate arrangement under government intellectual property regulation. These privileges permit craftsmen or their main successors to recover responsibility for work after a specific period, empowering them to procure pay from permits and sovereignties. In Earthy's case, his end privileges turned into an important resource, with his beneficiaries at last getting a charge out of full command over his list. The worth of Earthy's Melodic list was featured in 2015 when Tommy Rahh, one of his beneficiaries, sold a piece of her end freedoms to Warner Chappelle Music for a significant amount of $2 million. This exchange highlighted the perseverance through prevalence and business practicality of Earthy's music. Brown's influence has risen above ages and sorts, as confirmed by accolades paid to him by prestigious specialists like the Drifters and Blimp's Jimmy Page. The Drifters regarded Brown during their 2007 European visit by covering his tune "I'll Go Off the Deep End," while Page depicted Brown as a melodic sort unto himself, underscoring his constant development and advancement in acknowledgement of his commitments to music. The debut accolade fit for the Lord of Ruler Records was hung on December 22, 2007 at the Madison Theater in Covington, Kentucky, facilitated by Bootsy Collins. The occasion highlighted exhibitions by specialists, for example, Africa Bambaataa, Chug D of Public Foe, and the Spirit Commanders, among others. The event additionally saw the announcement of December 22 and as James Earthy's Day by the city chairman of Cincinnati, further solidifying Earthy's heritage in the records of music history. James Earthy was brought into the world on May 3, 1933, in a little wooden shack in Barnwell, South Carolina. Brown entered the world in the midst of destitution and difficulty. His mom, Susie, who was only 16 at the time, attempted to accommodate her family in the ruined town of Elko. The family's conditions constrained them to move to Augusta, Georgia. When James was just 5 years old, at first he lived in one of his aunt's homes. They later moved into a common house with another aunt, where young James spent his early stages. Earthy's experience growing up was set apart by unsteadiness and difficulty. His folks' painful marriage was defaced by discussion. Furthermore, misuse prompted his mom's takeoff to New York, abandoning James in spite of the difficulties. Brown figured out how to go to class until the 6th grade, despite the fact that he frequently thought of himself as alone and battling for himself on the roads. It was during this time that Brown found his energy for music. He sharpened his melodic abilities by helping himself to play the piano, harmonica, and guitar. His ability before long grabbed the eye of people around him, and he started acting in ability shows and engaging soldiers from Camp Gordon with his pale moves during the beginning of the Second Great War. Anyway, Earthy Colored's way was not without its impediments. At 16 years old, he found himself on some unacceptable side of the law, sentenced for burglary and condemned to an adolescent confinement place. Yet even in the bounds of imprisonment, Earthy Colored's melodic soul remained undimmed. He framed a gospel group of 4, with individual detainees, displaying his natural melodic head. In a turn of destiny, Brown was conceded an exculpation in June 1952, denoting a crucial second in his life. Liberated from the imperatives of restriction, he jumping all over the chance to seek after his melodic desires, earnestly joining the gospel bunch. The consistently prepared gospel vocalist, Brown set out on another part of his melodic venture, establishing the groundwork for his future achievements. James Brown's renowned lifetime follows back to his underlying foundations in a gospel bunch known as the Gospel Starlighter, which later transformed into the Blazes, with Brown driving the charge. The gathering left on a hurricane visit across the southern U.S., gracing various scenes with their jolting exhibitions affected by R&B symbols like Little Richard and Beam Charles. Their initial accounts resounded with crowds coming full circle in the arrival of their breakout R&B hit If It's Not Too Much Trouble in Walk 1956, which took off to the highest-rated spot, selling north of 1 million duplicates. As Earthy's melodic excursion unfurled, he progressed into an independent craftsman, constantly developing his sound. In October 1958, he accomplished his most memorable performance, #1 hit with Attempt, denoting the start of a line of 17 outline beating R&B stirs things up around town, just as Brown and his band made further progress with covers like Night Train in 1962, close by unique numbers like Lost Somebody and Child. You're directly in a striking move. Brown by and by funded a live recording of one of his exhibitions at the Apollo Theater in 1962, convincing Sid Nathan to deliver the collection. The Apollo hit the racks the following summer and quickly climbed the diagrams, looking at #2 on the top LP diagram, and partaking in a striking 14-month run ever since the pioneer Brown wandered into business venture in 1963, laying out his own name and Tri Records. His imaginative ability proved to be fruitful with the arrival of Pop Is Got a Pristine Sack in 1965, a diagram-besting vibe that acquired him his most memorable Grammy. Grant Resolute Brown proceeded with his series of wins with It's Like I Got You, which got his second back-to-back #1 single in the deep song It's a Man's World, further setting his predominance on both the pop and R&B outlines. The late 1960s and mid-70s saw Earthy's climb to the front of the funk music scene as he spearheaded a progressive sound that dazzled crowds overall with his unmatched ability and constant drive. James Brown cut out a heritage that rose above the age, solidifying his status as a genuine melodic symbol. James Earthy's melodic excursion arrived at new levels from 1970 to 1975. Acquiring him the respected title of the Guardian of Soul. All through this period, Brown displayed his flexibility by consistently mixing gospel cadence and blues, funk and customary African music into his unmistakable sound. As the 1970s unfurled, Brown and depthly answered moving melodic patterns, exploring different avenues regarding disco components yet with blended accomplishment, while a portion of his disco-imbued tracks neglected to duplicate the outcome of his prior hits. They stayed notorious in the present music scene in 1974. Brown's dad Don't Take No Wreck arose as a champion, securing the main spot on the R&B outline and filling in as his last top 40 pop single of the 10 years, connoting the finish of a time. The ensuing 10 years saw Brown grappling with vacillations in both fame and deals anyway. A critical defining moment came in 1986, when he made an arrangement with Scotty Siblings Records and delivered The Collection. Gravity The Collection flaunted the irresistible track Living in America, which reignited Earthy's profession with its main 10 pop hit status, denoting his first since 1968, highlighted unmistakably in the film Rough 4 and its soundtrack. The tune shot Earthy once more into the spotlight, reaffirming his status as a melodic power to be with exploiting his restored achievement. Brown wrote his life account. James Brown, the backup parent of Soul as a Team, with Bruce Exhaust offering fans a brief look into his exceptional life and vocation. Resurgence finished in a Grammy Grant win for Best Male R&B Vocal Execution for Living in America in 1987, further cementing his perseverance through heritage. An earth-shattering occasion in Brown's later years was the jolting live presentation at the Wilter Theater on June 10, 1991, named James Brown Live in America Live. The show, brought about by Indiana maker Danny Hubbard, highlighted a variety of illuminators, including MC Sledge B, Biv DeVoe, Vogue, and Quincy Jones, honoring the permanent imprint Brown had left the music business with appearances by notable figures like Icy T-Tone, Locke, and Cool Mode D. The occasion was a demonstration of Brown's perseverance through impact and unparalleled ability. In 1993, he revealed his collection, Widespread James, which highlighted his last bullet and graphing single, Can't Get Any Harder, although the track had an unobtrusive effect on the USR&B diagram, arriving at number 76. Its gathering in the UK was more prominent, penning at number 59, likely boosted by the outcome of a remix variant of his exemplary hit. I Feel Much Better, highlighting Dang in spite of ensuing singles like How Long and Georgia neglecting to diagram Brown's perseverance in his melodic undertakings. In 1995, Brown got back to the famous Apollo Theater to record Occupy the Apollo 1995, a demonstration of his getting through association with his crowd, notwithstanding counting a studio track named Regard Me as a solitary the collection neglected to have a huge effect on the graphs. A feature of Brown's later years came in 2004, when he opened for the Scorching Stew Peppers at a few Hyde Park shows in London, displaying his getting-through appeal to crowds overall. The next year saw the distribution of his second book, I Feel Far Better About the Existence of Soul, offering fans a more profound understanding of his surprising excursion in mid-2005. Brown set out on recording meetings for an arranged studio collection with long-term partners like Fred Wesley and Pee Wee Ellis, although the collection never emerged. A track from these meetings, Stomach Pail, showed up on a Gathering compact disc. Earthy's last significant U.S. execution occurred in San Francisco in August 2006. Thanks for watching this video.